And hello, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube world. We are live with this month's Inspired Insights. I am Sharon V. As you know, the system is calibrating and letting everybody know that we're live. So take your time, hop on. When you hop on, feel free to let me know where you're joining from. And for those of you who are watching on the replay, happy to have each and every one of you here. So this month, I wanted to talk about how we can be solution focused. And excuse my voice, we are getting over something, and it's actually kind of perfect. In life, we deal with things come up, and oftentimes when we have things that come up for us, all we can see is the problem. We just stare at the problem and we just continue to focus on the problem, where instead, what we can do is zoom out and allow solutions to come to us. Now, it sounds easier said than done, as most things. But one of the things that I've noticed is oftentimes we stare at the problem because the problem is familiar to us, whereas the solution, which is an unknown, is something that's unfamiliar. And generally, when things are unfamiliar, we don't go towards them. So one of the things that I've learned to do is allow myself to zoom out. Now, the mind is an amazing thing, but the mind, as we know, is repetitive. So when we're dealing with problems or something that is a solution in the making, there's a seed in that problem. When we're dealing with problems, our mind tends to always go to it because it's right in front of us, and we start obsessing over it. And this is something that I've learned through different meditation and different practices, is that when we allow ourselves to take a step back and zoom out and see that you are only focusing on one specific thing, and when we're focusing on what we consider problems or obstacles, or you want to find certain roadblocks, you're unable to see the multitude of things that are out there that could be happening for you. The reasons why it's happening, because hindsight's 2020. So a lot of the time we'll go through things, and at the time it's really annoying and we make it through, and then later on we see that it set us up for something later on down the road. So when we're staring at the problem, we're completely oblivious to all the other things that are out there that could be possible solutions. So allow yourself to take a step back and maybe start thinking about solutions, but start allowing yourself to take a step back, maybe even open up your arms, close your eyes, and allow the solution to sit there, or allow the problem to sit there, but allow yourself also to open up and see that there are a multitude of things out there happening that you just aren't aware of. When a great example is when you're looking for something and you've looked in that spot 1,000 times. You're like, God, I can't believe I can't find this, because you're focused on the problem. And then one day you've let go, and all of a sudden you've looked in that same spot and it's there. And it's because you are focusing on the problem of not being able to find it, opposed to being open to the solution of it being wherever it is, if that makes sense. I know that I'm hitting certain chords because this is something that resonates with me. And in life, hey, Omar, welcome. In life, we are confronted with things day in and day out. And instead of allowing yourself to characterize them as problems, see them as opportunities for you to open your mind to something new and unknown. And often in my life, I don't know about you guys, but this last month has been quite challenging. There have been a number of things that have come up for me where in that moment when it happened, we all have that sinking feeling or that crushing feeling where you're like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And then what I've done is, honestly, I've said to myself, okay, I've allowed myself the moment to acknowledge whatever's come up for me. And I said, okay, this has come up for me. Now, I understand that this is happening. I don't know why it's happening. Hey, Tuan, welcome. I don't understand the reason for it happening, but I'm allowing myself to open up to the multitude of solutions that are out there to solve whatever it is that's standing before me at this very moment. And really, in a matter of hours, days, the solutions have made themselves apparent. But because I was open, if you sit there and call everybody and talk about the problem and how it's a problem and everything like that, you're just continuing to perpetuate whatever it is as you see as an obstacle. Whereas, say, for example, this comes up for you and you call someone and you say, hey, this happened. Can you see possible outcomes that could help me or whatever? And when you kind of switch it, you allow yourself to open up to that unknown solution that is out there to come help you solve whatever it is that is before you. Now, this is just a really quick Inspired Insights Live. This young lady needs to head to the doctor. But I wanted to make sure that we got our live in and that I was able to address something that also has been very prevalent in my own life, and allowing myself to open up to the multitude of solutions that are out there that are just unknown and are unknown factors that generally we don't like to deal with the unknown. You don't want to move your living room because you don't know what it's going to be like, and you know you like it as it is. But when you do move it and you say, oh man, this was way better than I thought. When we open ourselves up to solutions and we allow ourselves to relinquish the familiarity of the problem, we can have magic happen in our lives, and we don't have to toil in that problem for much longer than necessary. So I hope I've given you guys some great tips. Please feel free to comment your best insight, what the best insight was from this quick live. And I thank each and every one of you for joining today. It is honestly such an absolute pleasure that I get to speak with you every week, and those of you I speak with daily. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. You can hit me on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. You can also send me an email at sharon@theinspiredattorney.co. I'll throw that up as a banner for the YouTube, Instagram, Facebook world, and LinkedIn, of course. And I do have the Inspired Attorney Assessment, which I feel like adds an added layer. When we know ourselves, we can easily seek solutions better because we understand where certain things are coming from. Well, hello, Chelsea. Wake up. Welcome. We are wrapping up this Inspired Insights Live on being more solution focused, which means allowing ourselves to let go of the familiarity of the problem and allowing ourselves to open to the unfamiliarity of the solution. And part of knowing who we are is huge because we can understand how we handle such different situations. And so I have that the Inspired Attorney Assessment available too on my website, theinspiredattorney.co. Go ahead and use that. If you take the assessment, you find out what your top business competencies are, where you best fit in an organization, how you make decisions, and so much more. And these tools are so useful in understanding who we are and taking those next steps, so we can also open ourselves up to solutions that are out there. For example, if you know that you're weak in certain areas in the business world, you can open yourself up to people who can help you outside of that, opposed to saying, I'm not great at it and focusing on that. Just a quick little tip. I'm wishing you guys the most incredible rest of your week. I'm sending you magic, luck, and light. I hope you have an amazing day, and feel free to feel free to leave me a message, as I said, and I would love to hear what you guys got most out of this. Thanks for joining, and until next time, guys.